Hey traders, it's Roberto, and in this video I'm going to go over the 1 hour trading strategy using the Smarttrader platform, candlestick patterns, stochastics indicator with a setting of 14, 5, and 3. Simple strategy. You do not really need a ton of indicators to give you trade signals using this platform. And I love using this platform because the simplicity of not having to add so many indicators to make me to decide whether I should be buying or selling, depending on the time frame you use. So let me get started. Okay. So what I look for are essentially just two things. I'm looking for an overbought or oversold stochastics. Now, that's not the first thing I look for. What I look for first is a reversal candlestick pattern. And here's one trade right there, which I'm not in. If I would have seen this trade setup, I definitely would have taken it. And these are short scalping opportunities, anywhere from 20 to 40 pips. And again, Smarttrader platform will generate these candlestick patterns: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish and 5 bullish candles. And these are the only candlestick patterns that you really need to know, because once everything lines up, you should be able to make money based on these patterns. And I'll go over many examples and just to prove to you that they do work. Now here is one trade, a bearish dark cloud, and all I do is take my cursor and hover it over that candle, and it tells me what type of candle it is, which is a reversal candlestick pattern. The only thing else that I need is stochastics to be overbought, and it is. And the two lines are crossing to the downside. There's a trade, and so far, if you would have taken this trade on this candle, you would be up 35 pips on this trade. Okay, so I'm going to go over through some of these examples, some on higher time frames, but just to keep this simple, I'm just going to look at predominantly 1 hour time frames. Okay, here's another one where we have a bullish piercing line, which is a reversal candlestick pattern. But you do need stochastics to be oversold, because if you have a candlestick pattern but stochastics is not at 20, that's not going to be a very high probability trade setup. And there's the trade right there. And in this trade, you would take your trade on this candle, 58 pips. Okay. So again, looking for overbought and oversold conditions, waiting for that candlestick reversal pattern that Smarttrader will generate, essentially giving you a signal that the market is completely overbought and it's ready to retrace. And here's a trade up here. Stochastic is overbought. Now this trade was generated in between sessions, so it took quite a while before it sold off, but it did. Eventually it went all the way down to here. So on the 1 hour chart, we're not looking for 100 or 200 pips. Anywhere from 20 to 40, 50 pips is what we look for on 1 hour charts. It's basically scalping time frame. Okay, I always call the 1 hour chart a scalping time frame. Here's a bullish piercing line. And stochastics is what? Oversold. Okay, so that's a nice trade to the upside. 62 pips. Okay, now oftentimes what I'll do, and let me just pull this down. These were trades that were taken on Friday. Non-farm payroll numbers here. We had a nice rally on gold, made over 500 pips, or $5,000 on this trade. So let me just pull this down, and what I'd like to do is use 2 time frames. What I'll do is look at a 4 hour chart, and I'm looking for that reversal candlestick pattern on a 4-hour chart. Okay, so I have to always click on these candles every time I change time frames because it does reset the candles. And here we have a bearish dark cloud. Stochastics is what? Overbought. Okay, and then maybe I'll switch to the 8-hour chart to see if there's anything on the 8-hour chart that can help me on that trade, and there really isn't. Let me switch back to the 4-hour chart and go back to that candle. So I'm going to highlight this candle, and I'm going to draw a vertical line. So I'll have a point of reference, but that vertical line is white, so I'm going to have to change colors. So let me just do that. Okay, I changed the color of the vertical line, and that's my point of reference. So this is the 8-hour chart, and I noticed on the 8-hour chart there's a bearish engulfing candle. Switch over to the 4-hour chart. So I have two time frames essentially telling me the same thing, that this is going to turn around and head south. We have stochastics overbought on the 8-hour and 4-hour chart, and we have two candlestick patterns giving us a sell signal. And initially this went down, what about, let me just get rid of this here, about 75 pips, but it continued to sell off. Okay, two time frames giving us confirmation. Here is another one. Here, I'll see the market sold off, and then it found support. We have a bullish Pearson line. This is a 4-hour chart. So what I'm going to do is highlight this area, and I've got stochastics is oversold. So I have two things that's going to help me to buy pound dollar. Let me switch to the 8-hour chart and see if there's something that can confirm this trade. And stochastics is oversold, and we've got inside bar. So we have a lot of support down at these levels. We have this bullish piercing line candle, but that did not appear till much later, which is just a confirmation. Okay, so again, this is a perfect example of a high probability trade setup. Bullish engulfing candle, stochastics is oversold on a 8-hour chart. So I'll switch to the next highest time frame, which is the daily, and see if there's anything there. And stochastics is oversold, and we have like railroad tracks. So for the following 2 days, okay, pound dollar rallied. Okay, now of course I would have used the 4-hour chart for an entry. I wouldn't wait for the candle. So there it is right there. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart. That's a buy signal. And if you want to get a little fancy, you can add a trend line. Right, there's your trend line. Nice rally to the upside. Okay, so that's it for the tutorial using stochastics, Smarttrader platform, candlestick patterns on different time frames. Okay. Remember, guys, the webinars are Monday through Friday. Actually, the market analysis are Monday through Friday at 8:30 to 9. Hope you can join me on Monday. We'll go over several pairs and see how the markets look for next week. Thanks for watching.